What's up, you guys? I'm Dan, this is Frugal Not Cheap, and today we'll look at the Ritz Carlton credit card from Chase. Hey guys, so as you know, I have a premium travel credit card that is the CapitalOne Venture X, and I use it with a credit card strategy called the CapitalOne Duo. You can check that out there. But there are many other credit cards out there in this segment, and thank you to a kind viewer for asking about my thoughts on this Ritz Carlton credit card, because it does have the potential to be a sleeper star. There's an important point I need to make about this card though. You cannot get it directly, so you're actually going to have to get a different Chase Marriott card. Could be, the Bonvoy Bold or Boundless. Need to hold that card for a year, and then what you can do is you can call Chase in order to do a product change to get the Ritz Carlton card. So it is a little bit of a faff in order to get the card, but it is still possible to do so. You just can't get it directly. Let's jump into the details and see what it looks like. So again, this is what I would consider a premium travel credit card, kind of in the similar tier to your Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Venture X that I have, also the American Express Platinum, Bank of America Rewards, Travel Rewards Elite card, all the ones that have a hefty annual fee, and this card does have a hefty annual fee. A little more on that later. As we do the math, you'll note that I'm working off of a spreadsheet, so actually in the resources link in the description for this video and for all my videos, there's a link to a resources kind of folder where I've got all of the different tools and whatnot that I've come up with over the years for all these different videos. So feel free to check that out, and you'll see one in there that's called Ritz Carlton credit card. So you'll be able to download that, make a copy of it for yourself, right? And then tweak the numbers as befits your situation, and you'll be able to see whether this card is of value to you. Okay, so in return for a hefty annual fee, what does the Ritz Carlton credit card provide? Well, first, it does offer a way to earn a significant amount of Marriott points. So this is going to be a little bit different than some of the other Chase products where, you get those Chase points and they're easily redeemable, kind of like 1 cent per point towards a statement credit, or you can move them over to like the Chase Sapphire Reserve or the Chase Sapphire Preferred and then get a bonus valuation on those points redemptions when used toward travel on the portal. So this one's going to be a little bit different. These are within the Marriott ecosystem, and these are kind of like the Marriott Bonvoy points. For every dollar that you spend at a number of Marriott brands, you will get 6% of that spend in points. Then you'll get 3% on dining, rental cars, and airline purchases, and you'll get 2% back on everything else. But again, these points are not sort of 1 cent per point. Generally, I'm seeing valuations of between 0.7 to 0.8 cents per point. We're going to be a little bit more conservative and use that 0.7 cents per point valuation. Okay, so let's dig into this sort of rewards points thing a little bit further, look at the math. Basically, I'm going to use my old spending from when I was in Dallas. Things are really different for me here in Bangkok, but I'll kind of give you a quick view of how this math would work out for me here at the end. It's just not going to be representative of most people's situation that's watching the video. So when I was living in Dallas, Texas, I was spending on non-rent spend a little over $11,000 a year. I did tweak the travel spending numbers a little bit to be more representative of what I might be doing these days. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it's going to make sense for the kind of person that's going to be using this card. Anyway, so I've put about $1,000 a year down for hotels. Again, we're earning 6% on that, so that's going to be just 60 rewards points. Then I'm spending about $2,000 on dining. At a 3% rate, that's going to be another 60. And then we've got another $2,000 in airfare, again at 3%. That's going to be another 60 yet again. Rental cars I don't really do, so you would get 3% back, but that's going to be 0 for me. And then other spending is $6,350, and at 2%, we're going to get 127 points there. So in total, on $11,300 to spend, we've got $307 worth of points as of the base. But if you're staying at Marriott properties with the card, you can get, and because we also have a Gold Elite status, then we're also able to get higher amounts per point. But I prefer to look at it from the angle of like I want to be pretty flexible. But of course your mileage may vary. If you're very much into the kind of like the Marriott ecosystem or what have you, then I do want to say that this could definitely be worth a heck of a lot more in terms of those points. But for my case with the 307 points, this isn't worth a heck of a lot at the 0.7 cents per point valuation. And then my personal discount factor, because again, I would like more flexibility than to just have to stay at the Marriott properties. Then I'm looking at a value to me of just a little over $1, so pretty negligible. However, the value of the free night award is going to be significantly higher. So one of the big perks of this card is that once a year you do get a free night award of up to 85,000 points, and you can actually combine this with another 15,000 points that you might have in order to access further properties. But again, at 0.7 cents per point, this would be worth $595. With my personal discount factor, we'll cut that in half and value that at just under $300. But still, at $300, you can imagine that we're a good way towards getting back the annual fee that we have to pay for this card. Next, we've got a $300 travel credit. And here's where initially, before I dug into the details on this card, I thought, man, this thing could really be a sleeper star. If we had about, $300 to $600 worth of the free night award, plus another $300 in the travel credit that's easy to use, this card could be a total home run because there are other perks that, are common to this category that I really, really enjoy, including lounge access. However, it turns out that the travel credit here is relatively restrictive. It's a lot like the American Express one, where it's things for airline incidentals. So this is non-ticket stuff. And yes, as with the American Express, there are ways to kind of get around that if you're willing to either be a little dishonest, or if you are more of a spendy traveler and you want to do upgrades from, say, economy to first class or to business, those kinds of incidentals, those are totally fair game, and you don't have to be dishonest, but I'm just more of a coach traveler. I'm a little bit, thrifty in that way. Yeah, so, not going to make sense for me, unfortunately, putting the value of the $300 travel credit at just 10%. So I'm going to value it at $30 to me, which is a shame, but your mileage could vary significantly. And so right away, this card could make a whole lot more sense for you if you're the kind of person that does do a lot of those airline incidentals. Then we've got global entry. This costs $20 a year because it's good for, I think it's 4 or 5 years. Anyway, that's how the math works out. It is nice to have. I'm traveling to the States not all that often, maybe about once a year. So I'm going to value this at 50% because it's not something that's like super, super important, but it is nice to have. That means that this is going to be a value of $10 to me. Then we've got another big one, and this is one of the ones that I love about this category of the premium travel credit card, and that is Priority Pass. I'm valuing, the face value, I think, of the membership that allows the, the guests, and also I think you get restaurant access as well with this particular brand, this particular version of Priority Pass, which is pretty great. That's $350. Again, I'm going to discount that, 50 cents on the dollar, just because it's kind of a luxury. It's not a totally must-have, but still, that's going to be $175 worth of value, which is pretty good. Then finally, we've got an annual $100 hotel credit, but this is also limited. It's only available to use at the Ritz Carlton or at the St. Regis, so these are kind of your top tier properties. Because of that, I'm going to value it at 25 cents on the dollar for $25. But still, that's pretty darn good. We've got a total face value of about $1,367, discounted by my personal discount factors. And by the way, in that spreadsheet, that you can download a copy of, you can change those multipliers, you can change your discount factors, so that's all in there for you to tweak with. But the discounted value to me is just under $550 at $547. So that is more than enough to outweigh the annual fee, which is $450. Total net face value is $917.15. But total net value with my personal discount factors is just under $100 at $97. So this would be a worthwhile card to have. If I wanted to have all these perks, it would be worth a positive value of $100 a year for me. However, that's not really the way that I think about things because there are, of course, other options out there that could be worth more to me. And of course, the one that is worth more to me is the CapitalOne Duo. However, like looking at this card objectively, it looks like for a certain type of traveler, this could be a really, really strong card for you, especially, again, those that are going to do the airline incidentals and those that travel frequently and really enjoy the different Marriott brands. On that note, you do get automatic Gold Elite status. This means you can earn 25% on Elite bonus points. You get 2 p.m. late checkout. and enhanced room upgrades among other benefits depending on availability. You also get 15 Elite Night credits that can help you towards getting to the next tier on the sort of the rewards tier for Marriott as well. And then of course you get a lot of the premium travel benefits of a card like this, like the travel delay or interruption insurance, lost baggage insurance, primary CDW, like all those basic perks are available. And of course, this card does have 0 foreign transaction fees, which is very important when picking a travel card. So again, overall, I think it could be a really, really strong card for a particular type of traveler. However, for someone like me, it's just not going to be all that strong. Again, at a positive value of $100, not that great. And then because a lot of my spend here in Thailand, I can't actually put on the card, even that small amount of points that that I would earn, I'm not able to earn. But yeah. Anyway, it's really not a great fit for me, but it certainly could be for you. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.